So you've got your video or photo shoot booked in, or you're looking to book it in, but you don't know what you need to organize. We get asked all the time, what do we need to do about this and that? So here are a few really handy things to get prepared before your photo or video shoot. The very first thing you need to know is what's your purpose? What's the point of what you're doing? And keep that in mind throughout the shoot and before the shoot when you're getting ready. The second thing you want to do is have a script or a shot outline. So a script for a video perhaps will really inform what you want to show in your video. And same with photography. You want to have a shot list, probably also allocate a bit of time for each section so that you can keep a track of time. Another thing to figure out is what's the style of what you want to produce. How do you represent your brand in photography and video? So when I say style, that means what's the tone, what's the look and feel. And a great way to figure that out is find stuff that you like or don't like that other people have done and use those as examples. Lots of people build up a bank before they start of images or videos that they like. Having a really clear idea about the style of photography or video that you want to do and which represents your brand is super important, and it will also help you inform the photographer or videographer what they need to be doing throughout the day. And also make sure that you keep brand continuity across different shoots that you do. Another critical part of your shoot is the location. Essentially, it's a character. It fills in a lot of information that we're looking for as viewers. So if you don't know where you're going to shoot, some things to consider are sound for video. So is it noisy? Are there roadworks? Is it underneath a flight path? Is it echoey? Those sorts of things can really bring down the quality of a production. Another thing is available light. Is it blasted with light that you can't control? If you're outside, obviously, if it's raining, you're going to have some trouble. And if you do know where you want to shoot, it's really important to clear the scene. So cables are just the absolute worst for photos. People's messy desks and all those sorts of things. Stuff on floors, they will bother you when you see the final product. So really clean those up and just keep an eye on it. A really useful tip for finding your location is, again, looking at what works for others. So what are some common things that you've noticed in other people's work that you like? Is it part of the location? Do you really like that it's really bright or high ceilings or whatever? And try and bring those into your own shoot. So once you know exactly where your locations are that you're shooting, you want to just make sure those are really tidy. And it's little things like make sure your signage is actually clean. Make sure that potentially if you're going to show branding on your vehicles, make sure those are tidy and clean because they will show up on video or photo and it will annoy you. So after you've figured out your location, the next thing that's really important is what are you wearing? So if you've got branded materials, that's great to wear, and also it's also great to show a range of branded materials. So if you've got high vis or you've got different dress shirts or a blazer, it doesn't matter. Make sure you wear lots of them, and also make sure they're really clean and tidy, because if you're working in them every day, they can get messed up. If you don't have a uniform, there's a couple of things to think about. One is, does it really represent kind of like your style and your tone and the way you work with people? So a dress shirt says something different to a t-shirt. The other thing is, if you're doing portrait photography, just watch the backgrounds. So if it's going to be on a white background, which is pretty common, don't wear a white shirt, wear a nice color that really pops off the background. Minor technical thing is avoid the pinstripes, the tight pinstripes, or the really tight patterns if you can. So when it comes to planning your shoot, make sure that you're showcasing a few of your different people. So if you do have a whole range of people, it's great to get as many different people as you can in front of the camera, just to showcase what it's really like at your work. Another thing is, if you have a range of vehicles, how cool is it to show a few different types of vehicles? Because again, it extends that scope of what you do in your business and makes you look bigger and cooler. Okay, so you're pretty much there, you've organized everything. A little bit of a curly one is getting permissions from people. So obviously you're gonna ask people if they're comfortable with being in front of a camera, and lots of people aren't. If they agree to it, that's awesome. Sometimes we get asked about permissions. Do we need to get permission from these people? Generally, if they've agreed to it and you're gonna show them what you've done and what they're included in, they're gonna be okay. You can always get deed of releases and other things that really cover you. Generally, I think if you're straight up with people and if you're open with them, then it's gonna be okay. And it should be a fun process. So only choose people that really wanna be there, I think. So it may seem like there's a whole lot to keep in your mind when you're prepping for your shoot, but it should be pretty simple. The person that you're working with, if they're a professional, they should be able to support you through all of those aspects and give you advice. There'll be lots of other things that pop up as well, but you should be working with someone that you're happy to call up and ask a question. So it's easy, it's fun, and it's really essentially a great thing for your brand or organization, so have fun.